Hi, this is C650 and today I'm going to deal with Lego problems. And today I'm going to cover the idea of, can you actually whiten Lego pieces? Can you clean them up? Can you get it sorted through? According to all sources, hydrogen peroxide, 3%, supposedly solves the problem. So I'm going to give it a test and see if it actually works. Right, so first thing supposedly is you have to try and take off the stickers, although sometimes it doesn't actually affect them according to everybody else. And then what you do is you get hold of your pieces. I mean, some of these pieces here for me are really, really bad. That's supposed to be white. And you're supposed to give it a brush down, so I'm cleaning it all down, taking all the loose stuff off of it so there's no dust and stuff affixed, which is what I've been advised. And then from that point on, I'm going to be checking it out by putting the hydrogen peroxide in it while we've got good weather, and just seeing if it actually does what it does. So let's see what happens. So now, while we're sitting there doing a little bit of this, I'm going to just show you exactly how bad some of this Lego is. Now that should be that colour. If I put that underneath the light, you can see what I mean. So that's the bottom of it. And this is the bit that is in the sun. And if you turn them over, exactly the same colour. So this stuff is actually quite heavily weather worn. Now supposedly this works with whites, but God forbid that you put them back in the sun or in any room that has got sun, because they have the potential to go back down again. I keep most of my stuff in darkened room, as you've seen, i.e. the cave. But logically looking at it, if you look at the price of this stuff and getting the individual bits, it's going to cost you a fortune. So a little bit of darkness doesn't help. Or put it into something that you can view it, but at the end of the day, it's it's not going to get direct sunlight because this has really eaten it up. This particular unit here was sitting on a window ledge for 4 years. So it got the full blast of the sun only on the roof. And this is the mini Clubman set. So let's see if we can do not only my Batman set, which I'm planning to do, but also doing the other version of and getting my Clubman fixed at the same time. Right, so I have finished washing them off. So there's all the pieces. They've still got quite a bit of water on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water out of these, and I'm going to dry them off, and then I'm going to show you what I've learnt so far about sorting it through, and hopefully some of this lot, or all of this lot, turns out to be the right colour. Supposedly it's not as bad on the greys. The greys don't get affected. It's just the white bricks. The white bricks, for some unknown reason, have got some kind of fault to where they discolour. The grey does over a period, but not as badly. But the grey survives, but the white doesn't. So let's just see what we do. Right, so after a period of time, I decided that I was going to use tea towels over the top to just take away the moisture. So this is pretty much it. This is dried Lego pieces, and this is not only for a record for myself when I'm sorting it all through, trying to make that into that. So now it's just a case of getting the peroxide, filling up this bowl, and basically getting everything sorted. Hopefully hopefully the idea works. And then from what I understand, it's a case of keeping it in the dark, because that's the only way you're going to stop it from rebleaching. So let's see what happens next. We come back to the bowl. The bowl's now been filled up and got sorted through, so we know exactly what we're looking at. And I've taken a record of all the damage so I can check against the parts when they're done at the other side. So say this is going to go in on top, probably like so, and I'm going to put a rock or something on top of it so that it keeps it contained, because it is going to be out in the wilds for approximately 7 days. Give it the best bleaching I can, and hopefully, as I said, parts will be sorted, and then it's a case of keep all the stuff that got bleached out the first time as close to a darker room as possible. Right, so now it's down to the safety instructions. So this is hydrogen peroxide 3% food grade, and as you can see there is all details that are on now. I'll just leave those there so you can get a rough idea of what we're talking about. It is a chemical. It does have cautionaries on it, so please be aware and read up on that, especially if you have small children around. And this is a 1 litre bottle of hydrogen peroxide that I got from Amazon. I got 2 bottles of this for $5.99, and yeah, it's a good answer and a hell of a lot cheaper than buying new Lego pieces to replace stuff that's been bleached by the sun. So that's the health and safety warnings. So with that being said, let's get it going. At this point, this is where I would turn around and say it is better to have gloves. So I am wearing gloves for this. And what we're going to do is we are going to undo the hydrogen peroxide. Being cautious to be careful. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it's covered. So it's all under. Put up a little bit more. There you go. So I say, being careful not to spill. And I'm going to take this piece here, put that in on top like that, so that it's down, and sink it with a stone. So technically everything there should now be under. And I think I may just put a little bit more in there to make sure that it does what it needs to do. And at that point, now it's just wait for 7 days. And hopefully we'll have a good result at the other end. Right, so this is now day 3 at the end, and I'm sitting there thinking that I'm seeing a considerable difference. So I'm going to take it out at day 3. I'm going to put the hydrogen peroxide into a bottle, and if I find that there's bits that are needing more, then I will put it all back in again. So we're going to be basically using a sieve. One of these is a handy thing because it's got a filter in the bottom, so we're going to filter it through, put it into the bottle there, and if it's not the same, I'm going to reuse it again and get it sorted through, and hopefully, with any luck, it should be pretty much close to done. Right, so what I've done is I've taken all of the pieces out of the pot that's been in the sun, and I can see huge differences with what it is already. So we're going to just check it out and see how much it's done with the white, and if anything else needs to be done, then what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to put those pieces back in, because obviously they need more attention. And what I'm doing is just basically putting it under the water like this and just flushing it. I would like to turn around and say that if you're using hydrogen peroxide 3% and you have a cesspit, it's not advisable to put it down the sink. I have looked into this, because it will kill the bacteria even in small part, but it will kill the bacteria in your cesspit, so it's better not to do that. And right, so with it all rinsed out and giving it a proper run through. So yeah, just basically put it like that and just give it a skin through. And I'm going to just put it there in the drain, so that it sits for a while and just drains the loose bits off. And then what we're going to do is put it out on the sheet, and hopefully there isn't many pieces that I have to put back in. Right, so here we have it. I've got all of the bits sorted through now. I've just taken them out, given them a rinse through water to make sure they're okay, and just laid them all out so that I can get them dry. I'm going to let them naturally dry. The whites have come out a hell of a lot better than they were, but there are still some that are lagging behind. But there is also a high percentage that aren't, so that's not bad. The greys are always going to come out well, because the grey were suffering with smoke damage. I bought the unit from a smoker's home, and it just left it tarnished, and it was really hard to get off, so I figured that I'd put it in with the peroxide. But these ones here, as I say, this is off the Clubman roof set, and muchly improved, as you can see, with a comparison to the first video that I done. So we're just going to leave them there for 24 hours, let them do their stuff. And then I'm going to take the ones that are not up to scratch and put them back out again, so that there's more concentration on what's there. But other than that, so far, yeah, I'm quite impressed with the results. These are the ones that I've deemed that are still needing a little bit of a touch up. And so what we're going to do is I've put it at more of an angle. I have also used a Tesco's family ice cream tub with the label still on the side, so I don't know if that's had any effect, but it doesn't seem to have. So what I've done is I've put it at a slight angle, so hopefully that can make a difference, get a little bit more sun in at a good point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this, which is the hydrogen peroxide that I took out the first time, and I'm just going to gently put this in, so it covers it all and gets it all sorted through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lace that up with rocks, so hopefully it beds it all down. And hopefully, with any luck, I'm going to try and do this as gently as possible, so that it's sort of pushing down as much of the Lego as I can. So I don't know if that's even going to come close to helping, but all I know is that it's going to hopefully take away some of the extras that go with this, and with any luck the rest of it will all come to good. Right, so this is day 5, and I have just pulled these pieces out. Now this is, as you can see, brilliant white. That really is. That's lovely quality. That's the underneath, so they never ever get tarnished on the underneath. And so yeah, that's lovely quality, and pretty much all of it has turned up the same way. You can pick up any piece and it's exactly the same thing. These are all returned to white, so that's white on one side, so you can see that, and then you flip it over And it's the same colour on the other side. All of these have turned white now. This has been left on for 5 days. Wanted it to get the best of everything, the sun, everything, so we just got it all sorted through. So all of this stuff now has literally become white. All of the loose greys that we were having problems with have now come out perfectly as they should do. Everything is back to 100%. So the biggest question is, whoever the bright person was that discovered this wonderful thing of 3% hydrogen peroxide, what a brilliant idea. It's there's so much. All of this has literally just come back up to full spec. So after 5 days, £5.99, and is it actually worth doing it? I suppose there is a long-term consequence that I haven't looked at yet. I'm not going to be putting these back into daylight. This is pretty much how they are staying at this point. So there's no extras that are going with this. It literally is just, they're all in really immensely good condition and very happy with it. So out of 10 for hydrogen peroxide idea, yes. Some people are saying that it's the heat that's sort of more important than anything else. We're in the middle of a heat wave at the moment, or hopefully coming to the end of a heat wave, so that could be part of the reason why. Some people will say because of the UV lights, just general sun. Yeah, that could also be, we've had quite a bit of sun lately, so that could be part of it as well. Either way, I can say emphatically that I will not, as I say, not be putting these back into sunlight. I'm going to keep them into darker rooms. Knowing that they have had that problem, I'm not going to put it to the test again, because it has. I've still got more hydrogen peroxide, but do I really want to keep putting these through this? No, not so much. And to be honest with you, I'm just happy that they've come back to. So this is my Clubman set back in one condition. So all the white is the Clubman, and the grey is all of the Batwing that basically hasn't been rectified, that has now been rectified. So overall, I would turn around and say I'm very happy with this. I wouldn't have touched this with a 20-foot cattle prod. When this was first come up, I just went, no, this is going to damage my bricks. So let me be the person who was the ultimate skeptic of this, to turn around and say, if you get the actual chance and you do suffer with browning on your Lego pieces, especially white pieces, yeah, I would highly advise it. I would massively highly advise it. The amount of money that I've saved, £5.99, wouldn't have bought half of what's there, never mind all the rest of it that's been cleaned. So from me, that's a huge thumbs up, and just thank you for watching. And please leave your comments up below if you've done it before and you were a little bit skeptic. And with that being said, hope that the information we've given you is helpful and gives you the chance to go, oh, I'll give that a try. But for me, that's me very happy. And that's me, Susie650, signing out. So I was sitting at home quite chuffed that I'd managed to do hydrogen peroxide on my Lego bricks and fix them. And then I had this thought. Why don't I actually test it out in the sun? Because logically, if it starts browning again, the sun is out there, I have hydrogen peroxide, I can re-hydrogen peroxide it. So I did. And this is what I found that happened. Well, as I turned around and said, I am the ultimate skeptic, so really want to do a good review and see. So what I done was I came out here and I've left this for a day and a half in the sun. After it's all been finished, after it's all been done, and I'm going to see exactly if there is any difference to this unit after that time frame. And this is what I discovered. So this is 2 days of being out in the sun, and as you can see by certain parts, around this bit, yes, if you put it in the sun again, it does start to kick off again. So highly advised with darkened rooms, but yes, it does come back. It's only light shadowing at this point in time, and I can put it back in with the hydrogen peroxide again, but I would highly advise that once you get this solved and you get it done, keep it in dark room. So skeptic bounces out. It has saved a lot of money, but you are looking at false light as opposed to sunlight. And with that, just the afterthought, and it really is me, Susie650, signing out.